Why has online shopping become so popular with so many people? Well, I mean, to be honest, I kind of get why people like this so much. I suppose the main reason is, of course, it's very easy and convenient. I mean, you can relax at your home or at work or, I mean, wherever you are and can still do your shopping. Additionally, uh, they are little things that you can buy off the internet, and most of the time, once you have paid it, it's quickly get delivered to your home without you know you having to deal with the hassles of the busy streets. So there's a lot, and yeah. Why do some people have problem managing their personal finance? Well, honestly, there are a lot of factors to blame for. First of all, I think is also one of the most important element is the kind of ideology, like what the society has made people to believe. Now in the age of consumerism, people start to think that the more you have, mean the more you know you have your value is what you have, right? What the items that you possess of this lavish lifestyle is everything, and so people, people start to spend a lot of money on things that they don't even need, which uh, they many will find themselves in a uh, financial shortage stage. Uh, I mean that's the mindset, but it's also the fact that the banks makes it so convenient to purchase anything that it's kind of act as a a fuel for people to to indulge themselves in indulge themselves in consuming more and more products and items. I mean, for example, the credit cards, right? You can buy anything without worry, and then pay the loan, and you don't have to pay the loan until later, for example, or maybe using your like bank account, right, to to scan the QR code for uh, transferring money. It's so easy and so convenient now that uh, everything is just within at the click of a button, and because of that easiness that people, it's kind of give an illusion uh, that, well, what I'm trying to say is that it's kind of makes people lose the sense of value and kind of the worriness about their financial state, sort of that. So yeah. How important it is to stay out of debt? Well, for me, I mean, it's a must. It's a must because I don't I don't want a life where I always have to worry about something that's constantly biting my tails. And the debt is uh and sometimes, like the bank, for example, when you loan have a big loan, usually it's kind of will come with a certain interest, and after a certain amount of time it can the amount of money that I have to pay back is significantly higher, and I just don't, it's become harder and harder to pay back what you have lent, and I just don't like that kind of life, to constantly worry about uh, when to pay the debt or something like that. Why are so many people today concerned with owning the newest version of updates of technology? Well, uh, I wouldn't say that it is an absolute necessity because, for example, an iPhone, right? Each of the new version is pretty much just a small upgrade to its previous prece- predecessor, So it isn't, they aren't like a big leap in technological advancement. And so, to my mind, the main reason is mainly to show off people, to show that how much of a tech savvy you are, how trendy you are as a person. To I don't want to say that, but it's more or less satisfy people's ego, and there isn't much to do with like having more like having more like smart features that can really elevate your life. For example, it most of the time it doesn't uh, really do that. So you know, I see a lot of people, especially when like a new iPhone, a new Apple product get released, people start to camp outside of the Apple store just to have a chance to be the first one who to buy the products, and it just feels so uh, kind of miserable sometimes that you have to always chase for the best, for the supposedly best product in the market, for example. So, yeah. Why do you think that many people place so many value on money and wealth? As I have said before, it's usually uh, the consumerism. Well, there are a lot more to talk about. It also depends on your social status. Like for people in the working classes, like in the who live in poverty, for example, uh, money is pretty much everything, and it's things that matters to them the most. I mean, to be honest, there's a lot of factors, and including consumerism, which like how especially how the media portray wealth and money as something that give you the ultimate life. The only perfect life is a life with all the gold and lavish lifestyle. It does hold true to some certain extent, but to the point that people are desperate to be seen as wealthy, it's kind of sad, to be honest. I mean, being a rich person is something that is a goal for most uh, person people in the world, you know. But to place so much emphasis on it that you completely disregard other aspects like personality or lifestyle or philosophy, it's just feel very half-hearted sometimes. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, some people believe that it is far better to be self-employed, as anyone who works for a company is doing nothing more than earning money for somebody else. Well, I wouldn't necessarily agree with this statement because I mean you're not just earning money for other people. I mean, the sole purpose of a job is to get money for yourself. So I really don't understand this statement. uh, I mean, you might have less potential for greater income, but at the end of the day, you still have your money, and on top of that, most company will provide for your health care and other kind of taxes. So it isn't a lose win situation. I mean, when you self-employ, you have a lot of freedom, like uh, flexible timetable, um, uh, flexible timetable, for example. However, you work by being a lone wolf means that you also have to take care about more other aspect of your, like, let's say, company, for example, that otherwise will be taken care by higher people if you are company employee. So you know I wouldn't uh, like say that either self-employment or working for a company is better, because there are merit and demerits to both of these uh, argument side. Banks should not be allowed to issue credit card to anyone under the age of 21. I think it's a bit high, Maybe like 18 would be a more desirable, like a more optimal age, I think, because credit card, they should be used responsibly. But I would say 21 is too old, too, like, it's a bit too high. And the well, I would say that I just want to say that 18 would be more practical one. But however, I do agree that anything less than that group age shouldn't be using credit cards, because, I mean, as you know, credit cards is essentially loaning the money of the bank. Like, you use the bank's money and then you pay them later. And so younger people who either not have the full concept of money, or people who are too irresponsible most um, to make financial decisions shouldn't use uh, something like a credit cards, because it's like a, let's just say, a honey trap. It seems sweet, it seems convenient, easy when you use it, but the consequences can be huge. It can be immense. Technology has made it easier to pay for everything. However, without paper money, people don't realize how much they are spending, and this creates more debt. I absolutely agree with this statement, because when you use legal tender, they have a physical form with colors and stuff, so you have a better sense of value, especially like, well, I don't have here, but just picture a let's say in my country, a 10,000 Vietnam dong, which is not that much. You can buy a bottle, so a can of soda, for example. It's have a yellow color, and it has just have a yellow color when you compare to like a 500,000 Vietnam dong, which have a kind of like a ocean blue kind of color. And so you get my idea. Because of their, they are physical form. You get much better sense of how many you are spending, and so uh, in your consciousness, you kind of know how when to stop better when you compare to like credit cards or bank account where everything is just some number that can you easily use through a swipe or a scan, something like that. So that's what I'm trying to say is that yeah, I agree because paper money they are in a physical form that you only have a limited amount of when you carrying a like a purse for your a purse. So obviously you will have better idea how many you're having, whereas things like credit cards, uh, which I mean technically they have unlimited amount budget, making you spend way more than you should have and creating debts. If you want to become a successful business person, you absolutely have to take business studies at university. Well, it's not entirely true. I mean, some of the most successful business person, after all, is university or college or high school drop off. You know, some of the biggest person isn't uh they are not graduate from any like business university. Why? Because they rely on other things such as their innate talent and their experience, which for something that's as practical as business is, in my opinion, is a lot more imperative than say textbook learning. I mean, after all, textbook is just a very watered down, boiled, like a very summarized version of what can happen out there. You have to deal with a lot more factors, like having to negotiate or deal with unwanted situation, which you are likely not will not able to solve if all you do if you just learn from a business from learning business at a university. I don't say that it is not possible, but I just think that other factors plays a larger role in making a successful business person. The world would be a better place if it was run by business people rather than politicians. I'm not. I, to be frankly, I'm disagree with this statement. Maybe I'm just uh watching. I just watch too many like sci-fi and dystopian uh, movies, but when you take a look at how many large businesses is doing in our world, I don't think they have the best like leadership potential. I mean, sure, politician, they can be bribed, they can be corrupted, and sometimes a lot of time, they make bad decision. But when you put them like into when you put business people into a such a higher position, it's become even worse. I mean, businesses at the moment already, they are so, a lot of them are so selfish and so out of touch that it's almost feel comical sometimes. Like for example, Disney, right? They are infamous for suing other people just because like uh, a kindergarten paint Mickey Mouse on the wall on the school wall, for example. Even if trivial things like that, small things like that can make they can they can do all of that just because someone paying very unharmful stuff like that. Then imagine when they are the government. I would say that life would be hell at that point. So yeah, in life it is more important to save than to spend. Well, it depends because, I mean, I have a saying that goes, "Good things might come to those who wait, but not for those who wait too late." So if all your life, uh, i- if you spend all your life trying to save as many money, as much as possible, then for what if eventually you can spend it? You know, I think saving, while it is a clever way to manage your finance, you will have to eventually spend. Like I have an example of a Vietnamese man who spent for pretty much all his life to buy two houses um, for his son and grandchildren, and when he go to the bank uh, to get the money, the inflation was so bad that uh, 40 years later he might be able to buy two houses, but at the moment it's only worth like two bowl of phones. So you kind of get my point, is that when you just saving and not spending, you just put all of your money away. Eventually other factors like, as I said, inflation make it worthless, and at that time your whole process of savings pretty much it's fertile. So that's kind of that. Should school children have lessons on financial responsibility? Well, yes, I think it's absolutely essential. Well, at least, uh, uh, I, I mean, it's absolutely essential. Well, I didn't have lessons like this when I am a student, but I think that the newer generation deserve this kind of education. I mean, after all, the school is supposed to teach you valuable things that you will carry on when you are an adult. So I don't see why financial responsibilities, financial management isn't a subject of its own. Because you know, for example, when I first lay my hand on a credit card, I don't I kind of get, I should have paid more attention to the application of its using. I found I was overspending and kind of almost get reckless with my purchasing, which result in a, it's not like too big. Luckily, fortunately, it wasn't a like big amount of money, so I can still pay off later. But still, because of my lack of prior knowledge to using my money, that led me to very unwanted situation like this. So yeah, I think that the new generation, the children, should absolutely have lesson about this matter.